Hello everyone, how are you doing? So many of you don't know me, so let me very quickly introduce myself. My name is Pankaj and I'm the co-founder of ATP Star. I've done my BTech from IIT and my MBA from IIM, and after that I've worked in several large organizations in leadership positions. So you must be wondering, why am I speaking with you today? So let me very quickly come to the point. See, through ATP Star, we have sent thousands of students to their dream colleges. Whether it is IITs, NITs, BITS Pilani, AIMS, government medical colleges, and you name it, right? But parents and students often ask us this very one important question, which is, what if they are not able to qualify JEE and NEET as they would like to? Because you know how tough competition is there. Less than 1% of students get their dream colleges. So there is a very highly likely chance that even if somebody works very hard, they may not get selected. So what other options are there, right? So we thought that we'll prepare a series of videos to make you aware of what other options are there for you to fulfill your dreams, right? See, at the end of the day, all of us are working hard to fulfill our dreams. We want to become good professionals, we want to be paid well, we want to have a good career and a happy and a fulfilling life, right? So let's dive into it. The first video in this series that we are making for you is around foreign undergraduate education. Yeah, is going to be a very informative video for you. So I want you to stick to the video till the very end, right? If you have any questions about foreign undergraduate education, whether it is in medical, whether it is in engineering or any other field or any other stream, please comment down below and I will come back to you with a response and with a solution to your problem. Yeah. So let's start our presentation. Okay, so the first question that comes to our mind is, why should we even think about foreign undergraduate education? I mean, there are lots of institutes in India. We can try that, right? But the issue with Indian education system, and I'm not saying that Indian education system is bad, it has also has many merits. But one of the biggest flaws is that there are very few good colleges and the rest of the colleges are not as good as the best ones. I mean, not nearly as good as best ones. So when you're preparing for these big colleges like IIT, NIT, AIMS, government medical colleges, if you don't qualify them for whatever reason, there is no good backup college for you. And even if there are some backup colleges, the number is very less. So a large number of students have to compromise on their undergraduate education, right? That's a big issue in the Indian education system. Secondly, what I want to tell you is that foreign undergraduate graduate education, it was very difficult at one point of time, let's say 10 years ago, when the information was very less, the resources were very less, right? But now, around 6 lakh students from India are going abroad to study each and every year, and a large number of them are undergraduate students. So now it has become very easy, and we'll talk about how a family can approach it, how you can sort of apply for it, what kind of universities you should look for, and there's a lot of details that we'll talk about in this video. So let's go forward. All right. So the first question that comes to our mind even before starting is, are foreign education institutes as good as Indian institutes, right? So let me answer that question by giving you some data points from the latest QS ranking. So QS is an institute or an organization that ranks various education institutes basis employability, basis infrastructure, quality of courses, and a lot of other parameters, right? So if you look at the global top 200 or top 300 universities in the world, you would rarely find any Indian university there. You'll maybe find an IIT, you'll maybe find an IISc or Bangalore or something else, but a large number of institutes in that QS ranking are from countries like Australia, from countries like USA, Canada, and a host of other foreign destinations. So yes, the quality of education in foreign institutes is actually very good, sometimes even better than what you would get in India, even in the top institutes of India. So that answers the first question that you have. Second question is, it must be very expensive. How will we afford it? Yes, foreign education is very expensive, but if you work hard enough, if you get the right scholarship, if you do part-time work, it becomes very affordable. And I'll show you how that happens over the course of this presentation. Yeah. Thirdly, parents and students are often concerned about safety security issues. So let me tell you that, the kind of universities that we'll talk about today, the countries that we'll talk about, there are a lot of Indian students who are going there each and every day. So it has become increasingly safe. There is internet available all the time. The international calling rates are also very less. The law and order situation in these countries is also very good. The crime rate is very less. So you can be rest assured that, these countries are as safe as India, even in some cases more safe than India. Yeah. So that's something that you need to know about. Now let's talk about the benefits of doing a foreign undergraduate degree, right? The biggest benefit that comes out of foreign undergraduate degree is that you get a chance to work directly in a foreign destination. right? And if you are working in a foreign destination and if you have a good degree like a undergraduate engineering degree or a computer science degree or let's say a medicine degree, the starting packages are very, very attractive, right? So on an average, around 90,000 US dollars of starting packages is given to undergraduate students who graduate from let's say top 200 to top 300 universities globally. That's a very, very good number. If you convert it to Indian rupees, you will find it that it's a very good number. Through if you get this salary, you will be able to very easily live in any country in the world, any city in the world. You'll also be able to save money, and you'll also be able to pay off your education loans if any. Right, so that's not really an issue. You'll be able to live a very happy and fulfilling life. Second is if you want to settle abroad, if you are if you have dreams of living in another country, pursuing let's say a master's or a PhD later on, or let's say working in foreign companies while living abroad, the easiest way to get a permanent residency is through an undergraduate degree, right? If you spend 3 to 4 years there, you get a lot of PR points, and it makes it very easy for you to get a permanent residency, a citizenship in that particular country. So that's another advantage that you should seriously consider. Third is if you come back to India, in the Indian job market, in the Indian startup market, there is a lot of value in a lot of advantage that you get if you have a foreign degree, right? So that's another advantage that is you should know about that advantage. Yeah. Now let's compare the foreign universities, the top 200 or top 300 universities across the world versus the similar universities in India, right? So there are a lot of institutes that are comparable to the IITs, AIMS, government medical colleges, BITS Pilani across the world, right? But in India, if you want to get into those institutes, the top institutes of India, the competition is very, very high. You have to qualify that one of the toughest examinations in the world, and the take rate is less than 1%. So even if you work very hard, there is a very high chance that you might may not be able to get into that examination, right? But in foreign undergraduate education, that is not the case because the take rate is much higher. If you apply to let's say 10 universities, you are very likely to get into 2 or 3 of them, and you are able to actually get your chosen program. So in India, another big issue is that even if you crack let's say an IIT exam, you're not sure which branch you will be getting. You're not sure which college you will be getting because there's a lot of competition. Even 1 marks makes a difference of IIT Bombay and IIT Kharagpur and other colleges. So there is a big competition there, right? But in foreign institutes, you can apply to multiple institutes, and most likely you will get the kind of stream that you want in one of the universities that you applied. Yeah, that's one thing that you should know about. Second is one of the biggest issues with education system in India, and this is what I personally feel. I've also cracked 2 of the toughest examinations, IITs and CAT exam, but it all comes down to one single day. You may be working for 3 years, 4 years, or 2 years. You may be studying very hard. You may be a very bright student, but for whatever reason, if you are not able to perform on that day, everything goes for a toss. There is nobody else who would look at your past record or your past study record, how well or how bright you have been. But it all depends on that one day, right? So luck plays a very big factor in this education system, and there's a lot of emotional stress because of it, both for students and for parents. And we feel that across the board because we teach thousands of students, and we know what kind of stress the students go through. So that kind of stress is not there in foreign undergraduate education. If you are, let's say, if you shortlist 10 or 20 universities, you can very easily apply to all of them. All of them have different selection criteria, so there is a very high likelihood that you will get into 1 or 2 of them or even more of them. So you have multiple options. So the stress associated with qualifying for a university or qualifying for a top college is not that much when you are applying to a foreign university. I think that's another big advantage that's there. Finally, lack of backup. I think that's another very important point. So in India, if you are, let's say, eyeing for a top, university or a top college like an IIT or an IIT or BITS, if you're not able to qualify for that exam, the backup options are not very good. So that's a big difference. There is a very big difference between the quality of education, quality of opportunities that students get if they go to the top colleges of India versus if they go for, let's say, tier 2 or tier 3 colleges of India. There's a big difference, right? Because there is only one exam that you have to crack. But in foreign undergraduate education, you can apply to, let's say, even 25 or 30 universities. I mean, nobody is stopping you. So there is a very high likelihood that you will get a good university which will give you all the opportunities that you need to make a good career, right? So there is a lot of backup options there that you get while you are applying for foreign universities, right? And you can also use foreign universities as a backup for yourself. So let's say if you're preparing for IIT or if you're preparing for NEET and you're aiming for the top college in India, great. You can always keep the foreign universities as a backup. In case you're not able to get the top colleges in India, you can always go for a foreign university. So that's another way of looking at it. Yeah. Now the point is, when should you start? I think you should start researching about your options in foreign universities as soon as possible. I know that it takes time to convince your family, convince your parents. They may also need to do some research. It's also a very big decision. That's why I'm saying that you should start as soon as possible. There are two factors here. One is that you'll need time to research. You'll need time to convince your family. That your family would need time to research. Secondly, different universities and different countries have different criteria. So, it might take you some time to understand, fill up all the forms, do all the necessary things before you can apply. So, you should start as soon as possible, right? If you are in class 12th right now, especially for students in class 12th who are, going to write their JEE mains and JEE advanced examination or NEET examination, or even students who are dropping 1 year for JEE mains, JEE advanced, or even for NEET examination, I think they should start right away. They should make a list of all the colleges that they want to go to, the kind of courses they want to go to. If you are facing issue in shortlisting the colleges, you can always comment down below. You can tell me what kind of issues you are facing, and I can certainly help you shortlist the right colleges for you. Right? So let's move forward. Right. So there are some important points that I want to talk about in terms of the admission process. If you want to know more about the admission process for any specific university, you can definitely comment down below, and I will come back with a response. Here are some high-level points. So if you're applying to a top 25 global university versus you're applying to a, let's say, top 200 or top 300 university, the admission criteria are sometimes different. Right. Secondly, there are country-specific demands. For example, if you're going to Germany, you might need to, let's say, learn German language, or you might need to, give different examinations which are not there in other countries. That's a specific demand that country has. You may need to give exams like SAT, IELTS, TOEFL, which do not take a lot of your time, but still you need to prepare and give those examinations. These are fairly easy examinations, but yes, you'll need to devote time to it. And there are some other requirements which may be university specific. So it's better that you start quickly. Now let's talk about some of the top destinations where Indian students are going. Yeah, I pulled up this data from the internet, and I also know many students who we have taught at ATP Star who have gone abroad to study. So this is a data which will help you a lot in making your decision, right? So I have focused on the quality of education, and you will see how these countries provide ample opportunities for you to get into the right college, which will help you reach your dreams. Yeah. Now UK is a big destination. Around 1.17 lakhs Indian students go there each and every year. That's a big number. Around 19 universities are there in global top 200. You can imagine. So India has only 1 or 2 universities in global top 200. They have 19. There are 9 universities in global top 15 medicine. I think India doesn't have even one. There are 3 universities in global top 10 in engineering and technology. Again, India doesn't have one in top 10. So that's a destination which will give you a lot of opportunities in terms of high quality education. Yeah, comparable to India, in many cases better than India. Yeah. Second, Australia is another destination. Around 90,000 Indian students go there each and every year. 6 universities in global top 200, 4 in global top 50 in medicine, 6 in global top 100 in engineering and technology. So another great destination filled with a lot of great universities which give you amazing courses to make your career. Yeah. Third, USA, 2 lakh Indian students. The biggest destination that Indian students go to is United States. 72 universities in global top 200, 31 universities in global top 100, 25 universities in global top 100 in engineering and technology. So big destination. The highest number of highly ranked colleges are there in US only. Yeah. Canada is another big destination right now, emerging as one of the most preferred destination for Indian students. Around 1 lakh plus Indian students go there each and every year. 9 universities in global top 200, 13 universities in global top 200 in medicine, 9 in global top 200 in engineering and technology. So another very big destination, very popular destination for students. Then there are other destinations like Ireland. There is Germany. Germany is a special case where government finances your education. So if you're able to get into a government university in Germany, the fees is literally zero. You only have to pay something like 10 to 12,000 rupees, not dollars, 10 to 12,000 rupees per semester, which is as even like much lower than the IIT's fee. Right. The only catch is you have to learn the German language and you have to go through a rigorous process which takes some time. So if you want to go to Germany, if you really want to go to a very affordable place of education which gives you very high quality education, you should opt for Germany. So those students who are in class 11th, students who are in class 10th, you can start researching for Germany, and definitely it will give you a lot of good options to get into the best colleges in the world. Yeah. And there are France, Russia, Central Asia, China, Italy, Singapore. There are a host of other places. A lot of students go to China, Russia, Central Asia for their MBBS. So those who are not able to get a good college in India, they fulfill their dreams by going to these countries. And these also provide a very good option, a very affordable option also. Compared to an Indian private medical college for their MBBS, these countries provide a much better option. We can talk about them also. If you want to know more, you can comment down below and definitely make a video about it. Yeah. So let's talk about scholarship and student work permits, right? So at an undergraduate level, let me first tell you there are ample opportunities to get scholarships, right? But compared to the scholarships at master level, the undergraduate scholarships are a little less. So there is a lot of competition if you want to get the undergraduate scholarship. So you have to start early, look at all the scholarships that are available in a university, see how many you qualify for, and then apply, right? But there are enough opportunities for you to explore. There are a lot of universities which give a lot of good scholarships, around 25 to 30%, even 40% to 50% of your fees is waived off in many universities if you apply at the right time, if you do a good job at researching and applying for the right scholarship. Yeah. Secondly, even if you don't get a scholarship, if you do part-time work, and let me tell you, 99% of Indian students, or not just Indian students, Chinese students, Pakistani, Bangladeshi students who go there, they do part-time work. You work at fuel stations, you work at restaurants, you work as a research assistant, you work in different places, and you earn money. You can earn something like $18 to $35 per hour, which is a big number. If you, let's say, work for 20 hours, a week, you can earn something like $400, $500 or even higher if you're working at a higher rate. So that offsets a lot of your cost. There are a lot of students that I know who only take, let's say, 30% of the loan amount, and rest of it they are able to pay by themselves doing part-time work and through their scholarship. So that's the reason why a lot of Indian students are now going for undergraduate studies in foreign education, because they are, through part-time work, they are able to pay off a very large part of the tuition fees. Yeah. Finally, the admission process. Some facts about the admission process. See, the admission process is a little longer in these universities. So every university has different different elements to the process, but these are the high level points that I'm talking about. If you have any specific question about any university or a country, you can comment down below and then I definitely help you out there. The intake cycle is around 2 to 3 times a year. So it's like, you have one admission cycle in India. So right after JEE exam or NEET exam, you have admission cycle. In these countries, you have 2 to 3 admission cycles. So in some countries like Canada, there is 3 admission cycles. In USA, in Australia, there are 2 admission cycles. So you can take admission 2 times a year. Right. So let's say if you're not able to get into, let's say, the March or the May, admission cycle, you can always again try for September admission cycle, and there are multiple opportunities. So you don't end up wasting an entire year. The maximum that can happen is, for example, you're not able to get into the right university now, you may be able to apply into that university, let's say 6 months later. So you just lose 6 months. So I think that's a very, very good thing about those universities. Admission confirmation in the university, once you apply, after your application, it takes 2 to 3 weeks. A student visa process usually takes very less, but maximum it can take is 5 weeks. I have seen students getting visa in 1 week, 2 weeks, or even less, but maximum it might take is 5 weeks. And if you're going for a loan, which most Indian students go for, it may take around 5 weeks or so. If you need any help around the loan process, who is the right kind of provider, what kind of rates and everything, you can definitely comment down below, and I will help you there as well. Yeah. Now let's talk about life after graduation. See, at the end of the day, like I said before, we are all chasing our dreams. We want to become better professionals, and the biggest element to better professional is the salary, I think. Yeah. If you are going for an undergraduate education in any of these countries, you get a chance to directly work there, and the starting salaries are very, very attractive, around 90,000 USD, which sort of gives you a very, very good life initially. The unemployment rates are very, very less. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that you are going for degrees which are highly in demand in these universities. So your your employment rate will be very, very high. So there's a very less chance that somebody will not get a job unless they don't do a good job at studying. I mean, you have to study there, you have to work hard there, you have to get good grades. Not saying you have to top all examinations, but you have to get good grades, right? You have to get the right practical experience, do the right project work. So definitely you will get a very, very handsome salary, which will be enough for you to survive, live a good life, also send money home if you want to. Yeah. Thirdly, chance to settle abroad if you want to go for a PR or permanent residency in those countries. I think this is the most most attractive way of doing it. This is what is taken by most students who want to settle abroad. And finally, there is good value in India. If you want to come back, you will get a lot of advantage in the Indian job market. Yeah. So so let's conclude our presentation today. What I want to conclude by saying is that we all are working hard to achieve our dreams, right? We want to chase our dreams, but let's not let your dreams not be defined by a college or an examination, right? In exams like JEE and NEET, there is so much competition. There is so difficult to get into those examinations. I have prepared for those examinations. I know, and I've seen thousands of students do it. There are a lot of very bright students, who are not able to crack the examinations, and they are one of the best students, in India. They're very bright, very intelligent. They work really hard, right? So don't lose your heart. Focus on your dreams. Create options that will help you fulfill your dreams. If not in India, then in foreign universities, right? But you should not give up on your dreams, right? Don't think that if you don't qualify one examination, your life is not worth it, right? So be very careful about that. And again, reiterating, one exam does not define you. There are ample opportunities out there. You just have to focus. You just have to find the right opportunity for you, and definitely things will work out for you. Yeah. So again, reiterating, if you have any questions, comment down below and I'll definitely help you out. Till then, have a good day, and we'll keep connected. Bye bye.